Trump out this morning, just minutes ago, greeting and welcoming the prime minister. I didn't see that minutes ago. Let's see what that looked like. Taoiseach is how you say it. Thank you, Ines Fod. Taoiseach. That's the British prime minister. Oh, wow. Good to know. Man, learning so much. Questions. Inflation. Yeah, so inflation's going down. Stocks are rallying. And the Taoiseach man is there hanging out with the presidents. Good stuff. More from C-SPAN. Trump and Speaker Johnson in about 40 minutes are going to be hosting the Irish Prime Minister, the Taoiseach. Pelosi and Bernie are holding a rally. Oh my gosh. It's like bringing back like the reunion tour or something. Gosh, yeah. Remember, they were sitting around. Remember when we used to go to those rallies like in the 60s? Yeah, we should do that again. Let's do it again 60 years later. So there's going to be a hearing on senior loneliness and community support, which I think is a very important issue, actually. Very important issue. Loneliness in many instances equals death. So we have to help ourselves get engaged, which is what we're all doing here. So we're preaching to the choir. But the point is, it is important. House Democrat leaders, they're speaking. We've got DPCC Chair and other Democrats. They're also speaking. And then Trump back this afternoon, St. Patrick's Day reception. We'll see if there's anything juicy that comes out of any of that today. And then, of course, incorporate that back into the show. But, oh, that's a nice photo from JD. Man, they're all St. Patrick's Day up, aren't they? And JD Vance, they went and shopped at the same tie store. It's like literally the same tie color. Amazing. Maybe they brought him a tie. Anyways, so that's what's cooking over there over on C-SPAN. And we had some other interesting things. Yeah, this was an interest. So Trump's cabinet was just going wild. They've got a bunch of clips from Trump's cabinet. And this was a very good one. Trump's Secretary of the VA went after this reporter who was reporting on rumors and innuendo. You know how they do this. They say, some people heard sometime from somebody in one place that Trump hates black people. You go, what the heck? What did you say? And it is a nonstop charade with them because they don't have anything actual to report on. So that same thing happened here. So there it's innuendo and rumor. And so how about, before you keep asking me questions in your little interview here, why don't you confirm that you're not going to do that anymore? Here's this exchange.
But I do have a second thing, Patricia, I really need to know. One of the things that I've been finding, we got into it a little bit in the discussion, but one of the issues that we're having is, and it's something here, I need your help on something. I need your help because all I seem to be doing lately is fighting back against innuendo and rumor stories. And this is what I seem to be fighting about all the time. In fact, Patricia, part of it is with you. And I just need your help because when you start headlines with, there's a rumor going around and that we've heard, that hurts my veterans. That scares my veterans. That scares my employees because it's not true. Will you commit to not doing that in the future?
There was a DOJ representative that day.
I have a VA employee who is our DOJ liaison. You knew that and you could ask that question.
I did.
But when you got the answer, but my question here is, I need you to commit to not starting off. Rumors began circulating. It's either true or false, Patricia. And then you go to Patty Murphy saying that we've heard and we have made, DOJ may have barged into the VA today. Unconfirmed hearsay. You know what you'd have done if I was a member of Congress and probably done that? Unconfirmed report. But you didn't put unconfirmed report.
No.
So, Patricia, I want to work together with you.
Okay.
But I need you to commit to me that you're not going to do this.
I'm working on it. And I have
Working on it.
Actually, I have another question.
No.
Thank you very much.
I want to hear the answer first. You commit not to do rumors because you're scaring my VA employees about this.
That's fair.
And you're scaring my veterans.
Yeah,
That's something I
But if a rumor is different than if I have a source.
Then you source it to our PR people and let them know, because you know something, I've got people who are reporting stuff right now who aren't even calling us. They don't even get something from. They don't even call us to check it.
That's not right.
This isn't right either.
Okay.
Oh,
But I did call about that.
Good.
I did call about
And you got the answer, but yet you still report it as a rumor.
I didn't.
Okay. Which is it? Which is it? Is it a rumor or did you get confirmed?
There is a Doge person there.
Okay, nobody has said that from you. Nobody. We answered it, but it was reported as a rumor. And think about this.
And parsing out
and the headline of the story, Elon Musk. Hey, I don't care who wrote it.
I know.
But your byline.
I'm trying to push back on those, and I.
Okay, but you think about what it says here. Elon Musk aide is now working at VA accessing computer systems. Ooh. That's a
statement.
Because you know what? We don't make a Doge employee, which is funny because they're VA employees, a liaison. We don't also give them a.
I was not told that.
We don't give.
I was not told.
But you wrote the article.
Liaison.
You wrote the article.
It was a Doge employee, one Doge employee.
As we look at this, Patricia, I want you to know something. When you look at this headline and you're accessing computer system, I want to work with you a lot as we go forward. We're going to have a lot of time together,
That's fair.
but I'm not going to have any reporter scaring my employees and scaring the veterans. That's what this is doing. Let's get it right. I'm the most transparent VA secretary we've had yet. I'm on video. I'm on interviews. I do everything I possibly can to push back against everything I'm hearing. So we got a team that'll help you, but I need your team to help me too. Okay?
Wow, good for him. So called her out to her face. Now, normally that doesn't happen in these exchanges. Okay, these hack journalists write a bunch of fake garbage and they conjugate it in innuendo, right? They artfully plead their language, as we talked about, that Judge Trevor McFadden called out in another Trump TRO lawsuit. But they pervert it and change the meaning, right? It's like you can describe it in two different ways. One, he went home, or two, he fled the scene, right? Both of them have the same action in that it's one person leaving one area and going to another area, but it sounds very different. Oh, well, why did he leave? He just went home. Why did he leave? He fled the scene. Okay, and cops do this all the time. I know it. I identified it and dismantled it for years. And it happens all the time in the media. Normally, when these elected or appointed officials are sitting around, they don't call them out directly to their faces on it, but he did. Good for him. And she was backpedaling massively. So hopefully that corrects the record. Hopefully she doesn't need to be told again on how this works. Good stuff over there. Now, we also had more from Trump's. They were all over the place yesterday. His Secretary of Education also was saying, yep, people are being cut at the end of yesterday. They were told, do not come into the office on Wednesday for security reasons, our security, because we know you're going to be acting like lunatics who are all mad that you got fired, is the thesis. And when they went home, they then dropped the firings, about 50% of the people now afuera. And here is what this clip looks like with Laura Ingraham and the Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon.
Reports today said that the buildings were going to be closed for security reasons. What does that mean?
When people left today and they got their notification to take their laptops and their phones home with them, and we didn't want part of the people who were being permanently let go and those who are remaining to some of them show up to work tomorrow morning.
That's standard corporate practice.
So it was just standard corporate practice that we just locked the doors and said, for those that are coming back, we'll know that they'll be coming back on Thursday morning.
Were people given a chance to take any personal effects?
They were told that they will be allowed to come back. We would arrange for them to come back and take their personal effects with them and to say goodbye to some folks too.
Randy,
all right, so that's how it went. So they're gone. And the department is, of course, being revised and reformed as it should be. So elsewhere, we saw that Melania was taking photos with DJ Daniel yesterday. I thought this was a great photo, and it's got 2 million views. You can see nice colors, very warm, and in front of George Washington. We appreciate it. So that was from the White House. We also saw some kids in tow. So yesterday we saw Elon was out with Trump. Here was another exchange of this, and he had his little boy with him. And there's this interesting thing happening, right? There are kids that are being introduced into the conversation. In fact, this was another one with Linda McMahon and RFK Jr. And this little kid right in the middle of this hearing with toys, right? They're talking, it's a hearing on kids. Alina Abba's over there too. But they're talking about the kids, but the kids are everywhere. And it's a very interesting thing that you're noticing, right? The kids are being integrated into the conversation, which I think is brilliant and needed, because for I think most of my life, there has been this disdain towards children. And it's been, I think, a pretty big problem for the world now that we have birth rates that are below replacement rate. Not good. But kids have always been this burden, this problem. In fact, there's this whole thesis that a lot of this might be programming. There was a whole era, I think it was like the 80s. Remember when kids were like Chucky in the movie? Like kids were like little demonic things, like The Exorcist was like this like child, like what the heck? And it was propaganda every week or whatever. Every month there was a new movie coming out that was like, this kid's going to murder your whole family, and kids are possessed and demonic. And so don't have kids or don't be around kids because they'll wreck your life. And then you have a lot of other influences there that might contribute to a low replacement rate. But now they're integrating the kids everywhere. And I think it's pretty awesome to see. I don't have kids, not yet. But here is what it looked like with Elon and his little one.
I just think that's very unfair. So I just wanted to make a statement. I'm going to buy one. Now, here's the bad news. I'm not allowed to drive because I haven't driven a car in a long time, and I love to drive cars. But I'm going to have it at the White House, and I'm going to let my staff use it. I'm going to let people at the place use it. And they all are all excited about that. I'm not allowed to use it. Can you believe it? One of my great things in life is that I like to drive cars, but I'm not allowed to.
All right, so that was Trump and Elon. Over at this other hearing, we've got Linda McMahon talking about this as this woman has her child. Make those kids healthy again. And this came over from Callie Means. He said, there has never been a more pro-mom and pro-child administration in history. We love our moms out there, so shout out to all the moms. Now, you can see elsewhere, Lee Zeldin was also explaining what's going on at the Department of the EPA and posted this one, says, we just notified 8 recipients of $20 billion in Biden EPA gold bars that their grants have now been terminated. And we'd like to hear that. It is my commitment to Trump, Congress, and to you. The EPA will be an exceptional steward of your tax dollars. I'll have it no other way. That's a big one, okay? 20 billion. That's big. We see some updates. That's 100 million. You're like, it's nice. Thanks for saving 200 million, but whatever. It's just crazy, okay? But it's true. It's like that's tip money. They just dumped out like 200 million yesterday to the National Endowment for Democracy or whatever the hell that fake agency is. So it's okay, 20 billion. Now we're talking. Once we get into the B's and out of the M's, it's much better. But here is what Lee Zeldin had to say about this update.
Over the past few weeks, it has been a high priority of mine to identify and bring to light countless issues regarding a Biden EPA gold bars scheme. 20 billion of your tax dollars were parked at an outside financial institution in a deliberate effort to limit government oversight, doling out your money through just 8 pass-through, politically connected, unqualified, and in some cases, brand new NGOs.
Wild.
The money has since been frozen, and the Department of Justice and FBI have been investigating. You may have heard how a group linked to Stacey Abrams received $2 billion after reporting a mere $100 in total revenue the year before.
Wild.
Or how the founding director of the EPA's program dished out $5 billion to his former employer after shaping the legislation that created the program from his White House post. These 2 examples have only been the tip of the iceberg. I'm here to report back to the American people that as of today, I have officially terminated these grant agreements entirely.
Thank you, Lee.
Not only does EPA have full authority to take this action, but frankly, we were left with no other option. This termination is based on substantial concerns regarding program integrity, objections to the award process, programmatic fraud, waste, and abuse, and misalignment with the agency's priorities, which collectively undermine the fundamental goals and statutory objectives of the awards. The only way we can reduce waste, increase oversight, and meet the intent of the law as it was written is by terminating these grants. It is my unwavering commitment to President Trump, Congress, and to you. The EPA will once again be an exceptional steward of your tax dollars. I will have it no other way.
Thank you, Lee. All right, so good stuff. Now, obviously, they're going to sue out the pants on this one. And we'll see that Stacey Abrams is not going to let that $2 billion just go quietly. So she'll be fighting for it. Now, we've got some good precedent that was developing in the District of Columbia. We talked about it yesterday from Judge Trevor McFadden, who said, if your stuff gets canceled or terminated, you have a process to recoup those funds so they can take it there. Now, we'll see if it gets assigned to Judge Amir or to Judge Beryl Howell, which, oh my goodness, we saw that other case yesterday from those banned lawyers got assigned to Beryl Howell. Oh my gosh. So that's going to be a lot of fun.